For today's God moment, we had a postponement last minute. So Paul, I think, made a handful of calls to encourage anyone else to last minute provide a God moment. We had no takers. So the suggestion that Paul made that I kind of liked, we'll see how it goes, is for the group to potentially contribute a way that they're seeing God work in their life right now. And I'll start, and we're hoping that we'll have a handful of participants from the group here in person today. I'm not going to do a full story on this, but I have a pretty cool story that I'll be able to tell in more detail someday. I listened to what I thought was the prompting of my Creator 3 years ago and sold my business. And I really didn't want to sell it necessarily, but I was offered a lot of money for it, my wife and I was praying, and I felt God was suggesting that he wanted me to take this offer. I just searched it out. Is this Satan? Because I really like running this company, or is this something I should do? And everyone around me told me that I wouldn't enjoy working for the buyers. But I listened to what I believed was the prompting from God, sold the business, and proceeded to become miserable working for the people that I sold it to, just as many people predicted. And I prayed, God, you know my heart, you know my capabilities, you know my skill set, you know my experience. Please deliver me something else to do here so I don't have to stick in this environment. And all I kept hearing was, I want you to stay. And what I did through the whole experience was I kept working hard, because that's my nature, and it's also what we're taught in the Bible. I just kept trying my best every day to lead the division for the larger organization. And then lo and behold, at the start of this year, the CEO approached me and said, Jim, we're dissolving the corporation and Saturn Lounge is for sale, which allowed me and my wife and my son and a couple key employees to buy the company back for pennies on the dollar. So it's not anything that I take credit for, because it's not a reasonable business strategy, I don't think, to sell a company and expect that you'll be able to just buy it back 3 years later for pennies on the dollar. But I do feel like it's a situation where I did listen to God, kind of did a couple things I didn't want to do, which sometimes when we're asked, they weren't really hard things. They weren't sledgehammers and sickles, but it feels like a blessing, at least at the moment. So I may tell more details down the road, but that's how I feel God has been working in my life recently. Do we have any volunteers? Would anyone like to share anything happening in their life right at the moment, or very, very recently, where they really see God working in their life? Excellent. Todd, we have a volunteer.
Do I have to? Oh, so they can hear me? Oh, shoot. Okay. Sorry. Dr. James Chitwood. I am on a pretty big journey right now. I've just recently published a book, did that in April. April was its publication date, and I didn't pursue a doctorate to become a consultant. It wasn't my path. I did it because it was hard. By the way, it is, in case you were wondering. When I decided to leave a 20-year career in higher education, I did that off of faith. I wasn't planning this path. It wasn't what I pursued. I had just simply followed forward through the daily steps of life, one decision after another, one degree after another. I have 4 of them, just continuing to go forward. And if you own one of these, you know how annoying that was. Along my career, my wife kept saying to me, Jim, are you going to continue this path? Are you going to go and consult? And I've always wanted to, but I didn't have an original thought to provide. And so I'm an operations person, a sales operations person. I was working in the startup space, and I was helping companies develop new divisions and departments, and I kept operationalizing myself out of a job over and over and over again, which is, if you've created a good operation, that's exactly the outcome you want, right? Like, you've done it, now they can hire somebody less than you to keep that thing running, and I did that over and over and over again. And my wife kept saying, are you going to keep operationalizing yourself out of a job, or are you going to do something about this? And the day it took me 9 months the last time, and I was finding myself without the revenue stream of life that helps us pay our mortgages and everything else going on, 2 kids in college, wondering what in the world am I going to do. And I spent the entire day discerning AKA praying, not like I don't do that every moment of every day anyways, but this was one of those days. And all I heard was, seek your daily bread. Seek your daily bread, seek your daily bread. And then I'm thinking, okay, great, so how am I going to do that? And that's when all the aha moments throughout my life, Errol and I were talking about this earlier, how sometimes you look back in your history and you see those little shining lights and you see those moments where it's like, oh yeah, that's why I went through that pain, that's why that happened, that's why that happened. And all of these pieces came together, and I was able to publish my book, put it together, and look upon my history, and I couldn't have done that without God. You probably can't notice it, but I'm suffering from a brain issue right now, and so it's hard for me to think and keep my train of thought going. And I'm like, really, God? What's the purpose of this one? Like why would I, after I had a really challenging childhood, why after going through that, would I go through all this, get to the point where I've written a book, now going to be doing that thing that I think I've always should be doing, and now I've got this new layer of pain on. And what I'm coming to, and this is like new thoughts for me, what I'm coming to is, I don't yet know, right? And that's what faith is. I don't yet know why I have had a headache since August 25th, got all kinds of stuff going on. I don't know, but at some point I will. And that's what faith is, right? Looking back, I just have to believe that I'm strong enough to get through this. And 10 years from now, hopefully it's no more than that, it'll all make sense, right? And those are those God moments. And so I kind of think that every moment is a God moment for us, but that's my journey today. And it's a pleasure here to be with you all, so thank you.
We have a couple minutes. Anyone else care to share a current or recent God moment? Excellent.
Good morning, everybody. I was told, or my wife was told, that I probably wouldn't make it through the heart attack. 3 days later, I woke up through the emergency, and I have about 75% of my heart muscle dead, so I shouldn't even be here. I've carried that shouldn't have been here for 25 years now. So I've been helping other people, I guess. That's why he didn't want to take me yet. So then 2 years ago, I got diagnosed with stage 4 stomach cancer. And I'm going, why? Why now? He must want me for something to help somebody along the line, because I'm still here. So my God moments is, for some reason, he doesn't want me up there yet, and I need to help some people down here. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you both. Worked out great. So thank you for sharing. And those are the types of stories that we hear. They're amazing. I've been coming since day one with Paul and C Suite for Christ, and I know he says every time God moments are his favorite, and I find it a little more difficult to discern my favorite because I enjoy all the elements in different ways, but the God moments have been really amazing over the years and will continue to be. I'm confident. So thank you both.